19. The embassy also organizes webinars about gender matters in collaboration with Argentine and Indian experts. For instance, two of our speakers, Mrs. Aleli Peiro and Mrs. Rajalakshmi Joshi, have already taken part in previous discussions carried out by the embassy, and it is an honor to have them as speakers once again. Last but not least, in November 2020, the embassy organized the very first Argentine film series from a gender perspective called Violet Glasses, Gafas Violetas. However, its implementation is a necessary but not sufficient condition to achieve our goals, since a deep social and cultural transformation requires both focused public policies and state efforts. A gender perspective must be a cross-cutting issue in all programs, actions, and projects carried out by the government. Please, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to speak in such an important event. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Ambassador, for your words and for explaining the foreign policy of Argentina regarding this matter. Now, I would like to move to our wonderful panel that we have today. And so I will introduce our 5 speakers with a brief introduction. The first speaker will be Nupur Desai from Govardhan Eco Village. She is a life science graduate from St. Xavier's College in Mumbai. In 2004, she founded the Wonder Years Kindergarten School in South Mumbai. She is a member of the scientific and ethics boards in 2 hospitals in Mumbai, Kokilaben Ambani Hospital and Bhaktivedanta Hospital. She's also very closely involved with several NGOs, such as she's a steering committee member of Anamrita. She's also board member of Catalyst Foundation, and she's trustee of Bombay Medical Aid Foundation. Then the second speaker will be Mr. Srivash Savale from Global India. He has over 16 years of experience working with business to drive ground up digital transformation, focusing on leading edge technologies, as well as transformative digital journeys. He has been entrusted with the growth of Global in India and has a major focus on staying relevant as a new age digital transformation partner in India. The third speaker will be Ms. Rajalakshmi Joshi. She is a TEDx speaker, architect, and interior designer, writer, environmentalist, social entrepreneur, and regional head for the Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao initiative. She's also a television panelist on many popular Indian TV channels like Republic, Z News, Times Now, and CNN News 18. Pinky Pradhan is a communications development practitioner with more than 18 years of experience in India, United States, and South Asia region. An advocate on girls' rights and gender empowerment, she's holding the position of Director, Communication and Strategic Partnership at Plan India. She steers partnerships with critical stakeholders, such as the Government of India, United Nations, and industry bodies to drive plans developmental and humanitarian mandates and commitment. She also leads flagship campaigns. Now I'd like to invite Rajalakshmi Joshi to give us your words. I mean, I would like to ask you about your experience and your work in the Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao initiative, and if you could also explain it to the audience. And also, as I asked you in November when we had our webinar with Aleli, I would like to ask you, in which areas or which fields of cooperation between Argentina and India you think that, well, women empowerment can be like a lead, or this can be addressed between, well, both countries? Please, Rajalakshmi, I give you the floor.
A very good morning, a very good afternoon, a very good evening to all of you lovely friends, to everyone here, and thank you so much to the Embassy of Argentina and to the Consulate of the Republic of Argentina. And I'm really honored, Carlos, for such a wonderful introduction. And also, it is a tall order actually speaking after wonderful speakers like His Excellency, Mr. Gobbi, and after some really nice talks by Ms. Nupur and by Shri Shivraj, they have thrown so much light on so many issues that they almost stole a lot of my words. I do resonate with so much of what they say, like absolutely. And I'm sure that I'm going to hear a lot of lovely things from from Aleli and also from Ms. Pradhan, Ms. Pradhan, I think. So, I would like to start with one saying that we have in Indian culture, that is Yatra Naryaste Pujante Tatra Ramante Devata. So it means that wherever wherever women are worshipped, or wherever they are respected, wherever they are given a place of pride in society, that is where the gods roam. No, so it is such a beautiful thought, such a beautiful feeling, because that actually means that it doesn't literally mean that you need to just worship the ladies. It means that you give them a rightful, a respectful place in society, and that will give balance to the entire your household, or whether your corporate place, or whether your country, or the entire world basically. So we always need balance in society. We need balance in the world. So the most problem, the biggest problems arise, in the world when, say, one force, or say one country, or some people, they try to dominate over somebody else, or about over something that is a little maybe lesser in force. So that is how we have even seen the mighty dinosaurs. They have gone extinct because they were too overbearing. When one force tries to become too overbearing on the other, that is when the whole thing comes to an end. So even we also have this shloka in the Mahabharata, that is yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharatah. So it is always like you need balance. So that balance is sadly lacking today, when we see no, not so much maybe in the global scenario, but in countries like India, we see a lot of this. There is a lot of tilt. The ratio, the sex ratio, is very sad. Even in today's times, it is very sad. And I would like to say that today, now we are celebrating women empowerment. We are celebrating International Women's Day. And the very first thing that struck me about Argentina is, Argentina as a country, and especially the embassy of Argentina, actually, they stole my heart, because I heard about this initiative where they actually allow a girl child to take over the embassy, and she is the one who manages the affairs of the embassy on that particular day. So that is how much trust, and that is how much power that girl child is given. So that actually shows the kind of empowerment, and the kind of initiatives, and the kind of thrust that Argentina as a country, and the embassy has been giving in India. That is really something that is worth saluting. So I'm really thankful to you, Your Excellency, Mr. Gombi, that you have really taken this initiative, and I hope that we will be able to do a lot more in the future also, because women empowerment is something that over the ages, I have seen that there have been a lot of battles. We have had battles right from women have had to fight for the right to live, to come into this world, and to have an equal life as a child, along with their male siblings, have equal rights over education, have equal rights over their choice of career, working itself, over voting rights, over hereditary rights, over property rights, over everything, over equal pay. Even till today, this is happening. Even till today, we cannot claim that any of these wars or any of these battles have been won, or that they have been settled, because even today, at least in our country, I would say that I am a proud Indian, and I am very proud of my culture. But at the same time, I am absolutely appalled at the kind of gender discrimination and at the bad sex ratio that is happening right now. And I would also like to say that this is not because of our culture. It is because, this is because we have forgotten what our culture is. In our culture, like I told you, it is about yatra naryastu pujante. So it is, we should have been respecting, we should have been almost giving a place of worship to the women. And what are we doing? Instead, from Lakshmi, that is supposed to be a symbol of wealth, of a goddess, of a symbol of prosperity, the daughter, who is always talked about as the Lakshmi of the house, from being a symbol of prosperity for the parents, the daughter has become a boj, that is, she has become a burden. And that is why a lot of parents, they choose not to have a daughter at all, because that reduces their burden. So, the very first battle that the girl child has to face in this country is the very first right to first, live, to first come into this world itself. That is the first battle, and that is fought by the mothers. That is fought by the generation before her, who is able to stand up for herself. That mother who says, "No, I am going to bring up this daughter, even if my husband or my family does not want me to bring this girl child into this world." So the very first battle starts with that fight for the right to come into the world itself. And then start a lot of more battles about, like I said, about education, about careers, etc. So very firstly, this initiative of Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, the very reason why this was brought into existence was because Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao means, Beti Bachao means save the daughters, and Beti Padhao means educate them. And then we go on to say, talking about thriving and about them, making a name for themselves in sports, in sciences, and a lot of other things. So very first thing would be to allow them to come into this world. So there are a lot of strong laws that have come into place, because Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he came up with this initiative. That was one of the 4 initiatives that he had come up with, where he spoke about Swachh Bharat and he spoke about Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, where he stole my heart with that initiative. Just like like I was speaking about how Argentina, the embassy, stole my heart. So Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao is not just giving the right to live to the girl child. It also gives a dignity. It gives some kind of power to educate and later to build a career for themselves. Because unless the parent thinks that the girl is going to be, and she's going to be an asset for herself, she's going to be self-sufficient, that she's going to be able to look after herself, that she's not going to be a burden on the parent, until that day comes, the parents, most of them will choose not to have a girl child if they are given the choice. And unfortunately, a lot of them, they do go in for abortions that are illegal. And it is very challenging, because a lot of people, they they resort to a whole lot of illegal means, and there are a lot of illegal clinics and hospitals, and many people who engage in such kind of activities. But so we have to change the entire mindset of these, the future generations. So our task starts right with changing the mindset. And I always feel that, in the mind, it always starts in the mind. So I feel that, women don't need to be empowered by somebody else. We are already empowered. We just need to realize it, and we need to take charge. We need to take ownership, and we need to build up an environment where, a lot of women, maybe they can come together, whatever may be their level of education, they can always find a way. There is always a way. And then there are people like us who can, suggest to them a lot of measures that they can take, so that they can, say, maybe form some small self-help groups. They can, like Mr. Shivraj was saying, he was talking about how, mothers can take their children to work also, perhaps, and, make the condition more conducive to work. So, and another factor that I was keen to share here is about how India and Argentina here right now.
Yeah, cool. If you can wrap it out in one minute, because we are short of time. But yes, please.
Yes. So I'm coming to the end of it.
Yeah.
So right now, since we are in the pandemic and most of us are all working online, so I think this is a fantastic opportunity. So let's convert that adversity into an opportunity by sharing, this knowledge, by sharing a lot of this is a big treasure, knowledge that we can share online. So we can have workshops, we can say, maybe share information, we can share some like in Argentina, you have sporting facilities and sporting techniques which can be used by sports persons in India, and at the same time, a lot of Indian art and our crafts, etc., is very much appreciated all over the world. And even like Alevi is pursuing yoga. So yoga, meditation, art, craft, all these things, they can be taught online to people in Argentina by Indian ladies, by Indian young girls, Indian young women. And I think that, they can find some kind of employment that way also. So we can actually help each other in that way. So things that are lacking in India and things that Argentina also would love to have, I think, we can bring all of them together, and we could do something great out of all of this. So since I find that there is so much of enthusiasm from your country, from your embassy, I take this opportunity to invite you to do something, in this regard. So and thank you once again for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts here on this forum. I'm really honored. Thank you so much. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.
Thank you so much, Rajalakshmi, for such beautiful and inspiring words. We're always happy to hear your insights about this issue. And well, we hope that the audience may be encouraged with your words. And also, thank you for explaining the initiative that were Betty Bachao, Betty Padao, because in Argentina, we don't have so much, we don't know so much about these kind of initiatives in India. So thank you so much for bringing it to the discussion. Now, I will ask to a short question that will lead you to explain all what you do in Argentina. I would like to know your experience in your projects in Córdoba and Buenos Aires in Argentina, and also about your books. And as a second question, what do you think that may empower the most to a woman? Please, Aleli, thank you for that.
Thanks, Carlos. Your Excellency Hugo Gobi, Ambassador Argentina, and Guillermo Devoto, Consul of Mumbai, distinguished speaker, and the audience. I honor to be here to talk about this important issue. My experience empowering women has been through literature, yoga, and mentoring programs to start new business. I live in Córdoba, the second largest city in Argentina.
Abroad, he served at the embassy in Canada, Brazil, China, the Philippines, and now as a consul general and director of the promotion center in Mumbai. Please, Mr. Devoto, you have the floor.
Thank you, Carlos. Good evening in India and buen día en la Argentina. There is not much I can add to what was said, and the time is short, but I can say that the meeting that we just shared helps to a better understanding of the injustices based on discrimination in the workplace, but also helps to find ways to fix them, not only to show them, but also look for ways to fix them. In some countries, already much progress has been made in this area, while in others, the challenges are still big, due to strong ancestral traditions that will demand more efforts from both the public and the private sector. This is same for developed countries or developing countries. And even in each country, as we can find here in India, we can also find in Argentina, different regions of the country will have different approach to these issues, and also sectors of the economy. In some sectors of the economy, women have an equal role or even more important role than men, and in others, they don't have the role they deserve according to their capabilities. In particular, in our foreign service, I have to pass this advertising of our foreign service, we can be proud of the progresses made on equal opportunities, not only to eliminate injustices with respect to women, but also with respect to diversity in general. For the immediate and positive response from the panelists to participate, and also for the attendees. I am sure that these exchanges will be a contribution to a better life for everyone. Carlos, you have the floor again.
Well, thank you so much, Guillermo, Mr. Devoto, for sharing your thoughts, for your closing remarks to this wonderful session. I would like to thank all of the audience for being here, for attending the event. I would like to also thank Cecilia and all the team at the Mumbai at the consulate for organizing this activity with us. We are really happy to do another activity regarding this issue from the embassy. For the audience, well, all of you have our email IDs, and please follow us on our social media. Please find out in the chat our handles, both from the embassy and the consulate. And remember that this session has been recorded, so then please feel free to share we will post it on our social media, and feel free to share it with all of your friends, colleagues who couldn't attend this session. Thank you so much for being here again, and well, hope to see you next event. Thank you so much.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good idea. Bye.
Thank you.